Morning, students of class 4th. Students, I hope all of you are fit and fine in your homes. Students, today I'll be continuing with lesson 6, Gulliver in the Land of Lilliput. So please take out your Wordsworth English Reader book and open lesson 6, Gulliver in the Land of Lilliput. I'll be reading and explaining this lesson.
Students, today I'll be reading and explaining Lesson 6 Gulliver in the Land of Lilliput. In Lesson 5, we have read that how Gulliver wanted to see different parts of the world. So he took up a job as a ship's doctor and he started on a voyage on the ship called Antelope. And on the way, the ship met with a violent storm and with great difficulty, Gulliver was the only member of the crew who could survive, and he struggled a lot to reach the shore. And he was so tired that he immediately fell asleep. And now we'll come to know further that he is on an unknown island, and now what happens to Gulliver and what he's going to do and whom he's going to meet. So lesson 6, Gulliver in the Land of Lilliput. So I'm going to read it. Please listen to me carefully and then I'll explain it. I must have slept for about 9 hours, for when I woke up, it was daylight. I tried to get up, but I couldn't move. My arms and legs were tied to pegs fastened into the ground. Thin, strong cords were tied across my body and attached to pegs in the ground. My long hair was spread out and tied down in the same manner. All I could do was to stare upwards at the sun, blinking to ease the pain on my already strained eyes. Suddenly, I heard strange noises around me, but I couldn't move to find out what they were or where they were coming from. The next moment, I felt something alive moving on my leg. It progressed over my stomach and onto my chest, stopping just below my chin. I lowered my eyes downward as much as I could, hoping to see what sort of insect was crawling on me. Then I suddenly gasped, "Why, it's a human creature, barely 6 inches tall." This creature had a bow and arrow in his hands and was followed by 40 more creatures like him. I was so surprised that I let out a frightful roar. All the creatures ran helter skelter and jumped off my body in terror. After some time, they gathered courage and climbed back onto my body. This time, one of them even clambered onto my chin to get a closer look at me. He let out a screech of excitement. Hekina Degul. Hekina Degul, repeated the crowd after him. I didn't give too much attention to their words. I was more concerned with setting myself free by twisting and turning and pulling and pushing. I managed to pull out the pegs that were holding my left arm down. With one arm free, I was able to free my hair and turn my head to the right. There were cries of panic from the little creatures, and suddenly hundreds of tiny arrows hit my left hand, pricking me with hundreds of needles. When arrows began striking my face, I groaned with pain and raised my left hand to protect myself. They also started jabbing spears at my sides. Luckily for me, my jacket was thick and prevented me from getting severely injured. I thought to myself that the wisest thing to do would be to lie still until night. So I stopped struggling and the arrows stopped coming. But soon I heard another loud noise near my right ear. It was like a banging, like people at work. I turned as much as I could and saw about 50 of the creatures setting up a platform a foot and a half above the ground. Soon, four of them climbed up ladders and stood on the platform. In the middle was an important looking man. He made a long speech looking in my direction. And of course, I didn't understand a word of it. But I could tell from the tone of his voice that some words were threats, others promises, and still others reassurances. Especially when he pointed all around and repeated over and over, Lilliput, Lilliput. So I was in a place called Lilliput. Though I had never heard of such a country or seen it on a map. I tried to answer the important looking man and tell him that I was a friend and meant no harm. I even raised my eyes and hands to heaven to make my promise stronger. The last time I had eaten was hours before the ship sank. So I had to show these people that I was hungry. I did it by putting my fingers into my mouth as I spoke. The great Hergo, as I later learned this important lord was called, understood my signs and shouted out orders to the crowd below. 100 little people immediately placed ladders at my sides and climbed up on my body with baskets full of meat and bread, which they dumped into my mouth. This was the food that their emperor had ordered as soon as he had received word of my arrival. When I signaled that I was also thirsty, they rolled a barrel up a ladder and across my chest. Then they poured a delicious liquid that tasted like wine, but their barrel was only equal to a cup. And after they had given me a second barrel, they showed me that they had no more. I was grateful to these little creatures. They had treated me generously. So, students, this was the lesson which I have read. Now I'll explain it to you. I had explained the first page. Once again, I'll explain it. I must have slept for about 9 hours, for when I woke up, it was daylight. Now, Gulliver is telling us that after he came on the shore, he was so tired and exhausted that he immediately fell down and was asleep. And he's telling that at least he must have slept continuously for 9 hours. And when he woke up, it was daylight. That the day had already begun. I tried to get up, but I couldn't move. Gulliver is telling us that the moment he woke up and it was daytime, so he thought that he should get up, but he couldn't move. Why he couldn't move? My arms and legs were tied to pegs fastened into the ground. Now, when he woke up, he wanted to get up, but what did he see? That he couldn't move. As his arms and legs were tied to pegs fastened into the ground. He's telling that when he tried to get up, he realized that his arms and legs were tied and they were fastened on the ground. Thin, strong cords were tied across my body and attached to pegs in the ground. Then he noticed that thin, strong cords, thin beta ekdam patle and strong means मजबूत, cords, ropes, रस्सियां, उससे गिलिवर की पूरी बॉडी को बांधा हुआ था एंड बांध के पेग्स मीन्स नेल्स, कीलें जो होती हैं, उससे ग्राउंड में गाड़ दिया गया था. The way these caterers and all, they put up the tents and the tents are tied with ropes and then fastened with pegs on the ground. Same way उसकी body को thin cord rope से बांध के peg से ground में बांध दिया गया था so that he could not get up or move. My long hair was spread out and tied down in the same manner. Gulliver had long hairs because he was on the ship for a long time. Maybe he couldn't go to a barber to get a haircut. So his long hairs were also spread out. उनको फैला दिया गया था उसके hair को, and the hair were also tied in the same manner and fastened to the ground. Now why they tied his hairs? Because they didn't want his head also to move, so that he could just lie still without any movement. He couldn't move. Now, all I could do was to stare upwards at the sun, blinking All I could do was to stare upwards at the sun, blinking to ease the pain on my already strained eyes. Now, all Gulliver could do, children, was that it was daytime and directly sunlight was coming onto his face, and he was already very tired because after hours and hours of swimming, he had managed to reach the shore. At one time, he felt that he would drown also because that time water started filling his lungs. So he was extremely tired. His eyes were also very much tired. They were stretched, tensed. So, and direct sunlight was falling onto his face, and we all know that if we try to see the sun with open eyes it hurts. So what he was doing, he was blinking his eyes. blink करना आप जानते हैं ना, बार बार आंखें बंद करना खोलना है ना, blink करना, try to close open, that is blinking. So he was blinking his eyes to ease the pain, and it is at one feels very uncomfortable when direct sunlight falls on the face, and continuously he couldn't turn his head, so he was not in a good position, so he was not comfortable, so he was blinking his eyes so that the sunlight doesn't cause more strain to his eyes. So to reduce the pain, he was blinking the eyes. Suddenly I heard strange noises around me. But suddenly, what did Gulliver notice? He started hearing strange noises, strange which he had never heard before. Some noises around me, but I couldn't move to find out what they were or where they were coming from. But Gulliver, he was tied with ropes, and those ropes were fastened to the ground with pegs, so he couldn't move. He couldn't move his hands, legs, head, anything. So he was not aware from where the voices were coming. The next moment, I felt something alive moving on my leg. Now, first he heard strange voices coming, and he was wondering from where these voices are coming. But after some time, immediately, the next moment, he felt that something alive was moving on my leg. Now, what do you mean by alive? Students, we all have experienced at times if an insect crawls on our body, it doesn't stay at one place, it keeps on moving, and that is when we come to know that some insect is moving on our body. And why it is moving? Because it is alive. वो जिंदा है तभी तो वो चल रहा है. So Gulliver could feel that something was moving on his leg. उसके पाँव पे कुछ बेटा चल रहा था. It progressed over my stomach and onto my chest, stopping just below my chin. And बेटा वो जो भी चीज उसको फील हो रहा था कि इट वॉज मूविंग ऑन हिज लेग, वो धीरे 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 स्लोली प्रोग्रेस मीन्स आगे बढ़ना. एंड वो बॉडी पे धीरे धीरे फ्रॉम लेग इट स्टार्टेड, देन इट केम टू हिज स्टमक. लेग से स्टार्ट होकर स्टमक पे आई, एंड देन ग्रेजुअली फ्रॉम स्टमक इट केम ऑन टू हिज चेस्ट पे आई, एंड देन स्टॉपिंग बिलो माई चिन. और कहाँ जाके वो स्टॉप हुआ चलना बेटा, मूवमेंट कहाँ स्टॉप हुआ? चिन के नीचे, समवेयर ऑन हिज नेक, बिलो द चिन. I lowered my eyes downwards as much as I could, hoping to see what sort of insect was crawling on me. So Gulliver, what did he do? He lowered his eyes. He couldn't move his head. Now only what things were movable in his parts of body, that were his eyes. क्योंकि eyes तो नहीं बांधी थी ना उन्होंने, तो गलिवर ने अपनी आंख लोअर की, नीचे की तरफ देखने की कोशिश की, जितना मैक्सिमम वो नीचे देख सकता था. एंड ही वॉज वंडरिंग कि सम इंसेक्ट वॉज crawling on his body, so he wanted to see which type of insect is there on that island. Then I suddenly guessed, why, it's a human creature barely 6 inches tall. And the moment he lowered his eyes, to his surprise, what did he see? That he was so surprised कि he gasped. And gasp मतलब बेटा, जब आप बहुत आश्चर्य होते हो तो आप जब ऐसे सांस लेते हो कि नहीं, ओ करके मुंह से निकलता है, तो वैसे ही उसने जोर से अपनी जो ब्रेथ है वो जोर से सांस ली, और उसको ऐसे लगा फॉर अ मोमेंट कि नाउ तो व्हाट इज इट? इट वॉज अ ह्यूमन क्रीचर barely 6 inches tall. आपके छोटे स्केल के बराबर एक ह्यूमन क्रीचर वहां पे था. उसने क्या देखा? एक 6 inches tall ह्यूमन क्रीचर उसके चिन के नीचे है. This creature had a bow and arrow in his hands and was followed by 40 more creatures like him. And to his surprise, what did Gulliver notice? कि वो तो एक क्रीचर है ही, उसके हाथ में बो एंड एरो. बो एंड एरो आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू नो. वो किसको बोलते हैं? एरो एंड बो, जो बाण और धनुष होता है ना. आपने महाभारत एंड रामायण सीरियल में देखा है ना, कैसे महाभारत और रामायण के कैरेक्टर्स बो एंड एरो से पहले जमाने में फाइट करते थे. Isn't it? So those tiny creatures, tiny human creatures, they were having bow and arrow in their hands. And that fellow who was standing on below Gulliver's chin, he was followed by 40 more creatures like him. That means he could make out, he couldn't count exactly, but उसने एक estimate लगाया कि उस small creature के पीछे 40 more ऐसे small little creatures गलिवर की बॉडी पे हैं. जस्ट इमेजिन, एक स्केल के बराबर छोटा सा ह्यूमन क्रीचर है ना, एंड उसके पीछे 40 मोर ह्यूमन क्रीचर्स स्टैंडिंग ऑन हिज बॉडी. तो दैट वाज वेरी सरप्राइजिंग फॉर गलिवर. इवन नोबडी कैन बिलीव कि इतना छोटा भी कोई हो सकता है. इजंट इट? I was so surprised that I let out a frightful roar. And उनको देख के it was a shock for Gulliver. तो उनको देख के he was so surprised, इतना ज़्यादा उसको अजीब सा लगा कि उसके मुंह से बहुत डर के मारे गलिवर के मुंह से जोर से आवाज निकल गई. And compared to the small creatures, Gulliver's was huge, giant. And जैसे ही गलिवर के मुंह से आवाज निकली, what must have happened? All the creatures ran helter-skelter and jumped off my body in terror. वो जितने भी small little creatures थे गलिवर के बॉडी में, जब उन्होंने गलिवर की चीख सुनी जोर से, तो they ran helter-skelter. Helter-skelter, हाँ, जो एकदम अफरा तफरी मचती है, केओस होता है, कोई इधर भाग रहा है, कोई उधर भाग रहा है ना. दैट हेल्टर स्केल्टर इज दैट. तो अफरा तफरी मचना, वो दे वर ऑल्सो फ्राइटन बिकॉज दे जिस जाइंट के ऊपर वो लोग चढ़े हुए थे, दैट जाइंट वॉज रोरिंग एंड दे डिडंट न्यू दैट ही वॉज स्केर्ड. ही वॉज roaring out of because he was feeling scared. So it caused a panic among the little creatures on his body and they all started running in different direction. एकदम अफरा तफरी मच गई. And they jumped off my body in terror. And even they got scared, and those little creatures, they jumped off Gulliver's body in terror. Terror, fear. वो भी डर गए थे, है ना. They were also scared and Gulliver was also scared because it was a shock for Gulliver. He had never seen or even heard about such small, barely 6 inches tall human creatures. And that too when he saw that they were holding bow and arrow in their hands. And so out of fear, he cried. मुंह से उसके चीख निकली, रोर निकला, frightful roar. And उसकी रोर सुन के there was a panic in the little creatures who were there on his body. They also were helter-skelter, ekdam afra tafri machi. There was a chaos, panic, and they also started running. And out of fear, they jumped off his body to the ground. After some time, they gathered courage and climbed back onto my body. बेटा थोड़ी देर के बाद those little creatures जो बॉडी से जंप कर गए थे, they gathered courage, उन्होंने थोड़ी हिम्मत जुटाई, है ना. they again said कि कोई बात नहीं, we'll try once again. उन्होंने थोड़ी हिम्मत दिखाई and climbed back onto my body. And again they climbed onto Gulliver's body. This time one of them even clambered onto my chin to get a closer look at me. और इस बार क्या हुआ? What happened this time? one of the little creatures, एक little creature ने इतनी हिम्मत की, he gathered so much courage that वो leg से start होते होते gradually वो कहाँ पे आ गया? Gulliver की चिन पे आ गया. चिन आप लोग जानते हो ना, लिप्स के नीचे का जो पोर्शन होता है फेस पे, उसको चिन बोलते हैं, है ना. तो वहां पे आ गया और वहां पे चढ़ के he started looking closely at Gulliver. Why did he climb Gulliver's chin? Because he wanted to look at Gulliver very closely. क्योंकि वो बहुत closely Gulliver को देखना चाहता था. उनके लिए Gulliver strange था and Gulliver के लिए वो लोग strange थे because they had never seen a giant and Gulliver had never seen such little creature. He let out a screech of excitement. Hekina Degul. And जैसे ही वो गलिवर की चिन पे चढ़ा and he watched closely at Gulliver, उसके मुंह से भी एक चीख निकली and that cheek was out of excitement. वो एक excitement की screech थी, shout थी. And what did he shout? Hekina Degul. Must be उनके language में कुछ होता होगा. And he shouted in the screech of excitement, Hekina Degul. So, children, on this page, we have read that how Gulliver was tied on the ground with thin, strong cords, and then cords were fastened onto the ground so that Gulliver could not move. And then suddenly, after some time, Gulliver felt something moving on his leg. Then gradually that movement approached his stomach, then chest, and somewhere below his chin. And when Gulliver lowered his eyes, because he couldn't move any part of his body except his eyes, so he was also curious कि which insect is crawling on my body. He wanted to know कि ऐसा नहीं हो कि कोई insect हो which could bite me. So when he lowered his eyes to see what was there below his chin, so what did he notice? That there was a small little creature of about 6 inches tall, standing below his chin and holding bow and arrow in his hand. And that little creature was followed by 40 other little creatures, and they were all on Gulliver's body. So out of fright, Gulliver rode. And the moment Gulliver rode, due to fear, what happened? There was a helter-skelter among the little creatures who were standing on Gulliver's body. There was a panic amongst them, and they were also scared when they saw that the giant man on whose body they were standing was shouting. So they also got scared and they started jumping off his body. Then, after some time, one of the little creature again gathered courage, and one of the little creature, he managed to climb onto the chin of Gulliver. And after having a close look at Gulliver, he shouted in excitement. And what did he shout in excitement? Hekina Degul. उनकी कोई बेटा उस island की कोई language होगी. And that little creature, he shouted in excitement, Hekina Degul. Hekina Degul, repeated the crowd after him. And the moment the little creature was standing on the chin of Gulliver, when he shouted in excitement, Hekina Degul, the crowd means वो जो सारी भीड़ इकट्ठा हुई थी गिलिवर के आसपास या उसकी बॉडी पे लिटिल क्रीचर्स की, they also repeated what he said. That was Hekina Degul. उसने ऊपर से Hekina Degul चिल्लाया एक्साइटमेंट में, तो नीचे से और जो गिलिवर की बॉडी पे बाकी जो भी लोग लिटिल क्रीचर्स होंगे उन्होंने भी रिपीट किया Hekina Degul after that little creature. I didn't give too much attention to their words now because Gulliver couldn't understand their language, so he was not bothered. So Gulliver did not pay any attention to what those little creatures were shouting. I was more concerned with setting myself free. And for Gulliver, the main concern was to free himself. How to free his body. जो उन्होंने बांध रखा था उसकी पूरी बॉडी को, गलिवर का प्राइम कंसर्न था बेटा कि कैसे अपने आप को उस रोप से और उससे फ्री करना. Because it's not that easy and with sunlight falling directly on your face. So by twisting and turning and pulling and pushing, I managed to pull out the pegs that were holding my left arm down. Now what Gulliver did? Twist and turn. बेटा वो लेटा हुआ था, तो उसने ट्विस्ट एंड टर्न, करवट इधर ली फिर उधर ली, टर्न लेना करवट लेना, ट्विस्ट एंड टर्न, अपनी बॉडी को करवट लेना, एंड पुलिंग एंड पुशिंग, ताकत लगाना, खींचना, है ना, पुल करना और पुश करना करवट लेते हुए. अब he was very huge compared to those little creatures. So I managed to pull out the pegs that were holding my left arm down. So by twisting, है ना, इधर घुमा उधर घुमा, turn किया, and then he pushed and he pulled and somehow he managed to pull. जो लेफ्ट आर्म को, जो लेफ्ट उसके आर्म को, कंधे से नीचे वाले हाथ को जो बांधा हुआ था, उस साइड के उसने, लेफ्ट साइड के पेग्स जो है उसने ग्राउंड से छुड़वा लिए. सो व्हाट हैपेंड? हिज लेफ्ट आर्म वाज फ्री. So with one arm free, I was able to free my head and turn my head to the right. Now, as they had spread his hairs and tied them to the ground, it must be hurting him. So what he did, the moment he set his left arm free, he immediately freed his hair also. उसने hair के अपने pegs निकाले होंगे, so that now he could move his head. So he could turn his head to the right. उसने इतना pegs निकाल लिया था कि अब उसका जो head है बेटा right side में turn हो सका. He freed his left arm first, then he freed his hair so that now his head could turn to the right side. So it was not at all important for Gulliver to make out what those little creatures were shouting, but his main concern was to free himself. So by twisting, turning, pulling and pushing, he managed to set his left arm free, and when his left arm was freed, he freed his hair also. So now he had freed his left arm and then he had freed his hair. So now he could turn his head towards the right side. So children, now I'll continue rest of the story in my next video.